Hi, this is Cathy for TransByDef, and today's topic is that of charity. When I first received this topic, I sat down and thought about it for a second, and I Googled it to see what the Internet had to say about charity. The Internet, I think it was Wikipedia, gave me a number of different definitions for charity. The first one was the helping of people around you and being kind to those around you. Second, it was entering and rating and providing help to the poor and the needy in the area. And 3 was supporting organizations that needed funds in order to operate. And I'm going to add a 5th, that of church contributions, and place those under charity. We were asked as part of our discussion for today to talk about what charitable organizations we contribute to. Well, I contribute basically to the church which I belong to, and they in turn take that money both as tithing and as fast offerings and help the poor in our church group and some of the other poor in the community, which I feel is a very charitable way of doing things. I do not like giving money to large organizations which come around soliciting money for this and soliciting money for that, because I don't know how they're using it, and I'm very gun-shy and leery of those people who are asking me to contribute to their charitable organization. I do from time to time contribute money to the schools that I and my wife have attended. I believe very firmly in helping the institutions of higher education, the colleges and universities that we attended. And I believe that that's a very important part of being charitable. One of the other things that kind of interested me today when I was sitting in church was the person who was speaking in the meeting that I attended got up and said that charity was the pure love of Christ. He then went on to say that that was doing and following all of the teachings of Christ, of being kind to people, helping people, forgiving other people, and I thought that was a very good way of looking at charity. The other charitable organization that I deal with that I'd like to spend a few minutes on is that of the Boy Scouts. Now, when I was a young person growing up, I thought the Boy Scouts was the greatest thing in the world. Even though at age 8, when I joined Cub Scouts, I also was at that point in time dressing as a girl and wanted to be a girl. I loved going to Cub Scouts, and when I got to be the age of 12, I loved going to Boy Scouts and going on their campouts. I totally enjoyed going to Philmont and spending the time up there backpacking with the older boys in our unit. I enjoyed the time backpacking up in the high Uintas in Utah with my Explorer Post and spending time up there in the wilds. As an adult leader, I enjoyed spending a lot of time working with the Boy Scouts and taking them to places like Philmont and other places backpacking and out in the woods and allow them to have the same opportunities I had. It really hurt me greatly when Boy Scouts banned all lesbians, gays, and transsexuals from working in the scouting program. I feel that that's very much a prejudice against our community and the people that are in our community. And I don't think the Boy Scouts are right in doing that. As it is, the Boy Scouts lost a large number of their units when they allowed young men who had either sex attraction into the Boy Scouts. I really think that the Boy Scouts needs to not worry so much about gender and not worry about the people that are there. If you've worked in Boy Scouts for a long period of time and you don't have any record of any kind of misconduct with the boys, just because of your gender preference, you should not be banned from working boys in the future. I know there are a lot of people that disagree with that idea, but I think that that is a very important concept that goes along with my charitable contribution to them. On the other hand, does that stop me from giving money to the Boy Scouts and supporting them in other ways? No, I still look back to my youth and think of all the good times I had in the woods playing with the Boy Scouts and going places with them, and I think other boys and now some girls will enjoy that as much as I did, because I think that was one of the high points of my growing up period, was the time I spent with the Boy Scouts out in the backwoods. And I just wish I could continue as an older adult to support them, even though I am the wrong gender and I'm transgender, which they do have female scout leaders, but they just do not allow anybody that's associated with the trans community or with the lesbian or gay community to be a leader there. And as soon as they do a background check, which they do on all leaders, they would pick that up in a heartbeat and would not allow me to continue being a leader there. So that's the problem that I think about when I think about Boy Scouts. I really think that they need to re-examine their status as a charitable organization. On the other hand, both they and Girl Scouts are a lot more accepting than Boy Scouts, but I think both of the scouting programs need to look carefully at how they treat the gay, lesbian, and trans community, particularly their leadership that are there. That doesn't mean that we are bad, that we're going to molest the kids that are there. We just have an honest caring for the kids that are involved in that program. Well, that's what I have to say for charity, and kind of wrapping it up. I believe that charity is helping those people that are around you, that's playing and working with those people who are in a pinch to get themselves out, and I believe that's a very important part. When you see somebody in a pinch, help them out. I would like to end with the final statement, one of the things that they talk about in the Single Action Shooting Society. There's an old cowboy there that's on TV, and his final statement for his show is, if you see somebody in trouble, lend them a hand any way that you possibly can. And I would like to encourage all of you to be like the old cowboy on Cowboys on the Outdoor Channel. And when you see somebody stuck in the mud or having emotional problems or having problems, lend them a hand. You be the person to help them. And I think that is the basic fundamental goal of charity and what we should all do with charity. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.